they have answers in the mid game. So it is a lot about Cloud9 just running away with the lanes and taking over the game early on. Otherwise, I would say Liquid's draft is better.
All right, that's early game focus for them. Are they going to be able to snowball for themselves? Can Liquid get a 2-0 here? I know someone who's probably confident in a 2-0 is their coach. So let's head on down to the stage with Tsunami and Blitz.
Prepare for battle.
A wyvern's breath.
Nah, I'd win.
Good try, little bro.
I just woke up. Leave me alone.
Don't care. Cloud9 is going to try and make you care with the last pick sniper against the puck. This is something that we actually saw Liquid do to other teams in the past. Now they may be the victims of it. They enable the sniper, but it does leave the Kunkka in an awkward position. Avery, do you like this trade-off for Cloud9?
I think it's the best they could have gotten in that situation. You either needed a cheese pick mid to try and give this puck 0 game or something that shut him down in the mid game, and I don't think there's a lot of good options when you get to the end of the draft like that. So they took the lane route option. I mean, you have some classic cheese heroes that can really abuse puck in the lane phase, and then if he's 1 or 2k net worth behind going into that mid game, he can just die in the fights. He doesn't have the infinite escapability. That's what you're looking for here if you're Cloud9. But like William said, I mean, Nisha is an absolute beast of a player. Is he the best player in the world? I don't know. I'm not their coach, so I'm not biased. You know? But we have seen him do some crazy things on this hero, particularly this tournament and even some of the recent events. It's a very scary hero to give to Team Liquid because it gives you control. It gives you that pace. It's a hero that can rotate, but it's also a hero that can scale really hard. And yeah, he took the curveball here.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice. We'll see what kind of curveballs Nisha is going to be throwing around in this game as we have the lanes already matched up. So we have the Naga Siren, which they talked about on the panel and in the interview as a hero that was not expected to be seen, mostly because it's very often being banned, paired up with a Razor. This is going to be a dangerous safe lane for DM and Kataomi, who are going to be playing as the Kunkka and Winter Wyvern. And then they've got their own ranged hero in the safe lane, Watson, going to be rocking the carry Lina this game.
Honestly, though, I think this offlane for Liquid is more difficult than the offlane for Cloud9 is. Like, this Clock Lina lane, in theory, destroys a double melee lineup here. That the Tusk Doom you can pull, you can get some jungle creeps, you can get extra gold off the Doom. I'm sure Liquid will get their way out of it, but this Lina should absolutely free farm, whereas Mikke is going to get harassed with some early nuke damage. The Wyvern can be a decent threat on the lane, and the Naga's not going to provide you a lot here on the early levels. I actually expect Cloud9 to win 3 lanes here, at least in the first few minutes.
Yeah, especially as this lane is pushed so far forward that the melee support in Insania is not able to have too much impact. You can see the opposite situation very often. The bottom lane, Fishman, who's trying to get aggressive here. Fishman in his undefeated clockwork here at this event. And a hero that I feel is much better suited for him than the Bane. His constant in-your-face aggression feels a little bit better for him to be playing a melee hero, in my opinion. But look at this mid matchup. It is not fun for Nisha. No one waving hello to Nisha as he's already gotten some heavy damage on him. Top lane, TM has a bit of his damage drained away from him. The only way the Razor can win this lane.
I think C9 have played their early waves on this top really well, though. They got the lane back early. This set a lot of the first few minutes up really well for DM. He did not get a huge amount of his resources burnt. You're looking at the mana on this Razor. It's basically out for Mikke. Whereas the counterpart here, Fishman, he got the zone in early. He's limited a little bit of the CS, and he's put Watson in a free farm position.
Gonna go for him. Hit him on the torrent, slows him down a bit, hit him with the splinter blast even, but it's just a level 2 Winter Wyvern, so it's not gonna be an overwhelming amount of damage, just something to keep him honest, keep him back while they try and take the Lotus here, but it's gonna be grabbed by Insania instead. On the other side of the map, blocked out by the shard, Fishman might just be able to get the kill on Boxy, but Boxy pulls himself away as 33 gets close.
So Lotus into the hands of Fishman, Lotus into the hands of Insania. They will boost up their cores, try and put these range cores in a better fighting position. And the real story is, of course, this mid lane. No one is winning the CS. He has 12 denies already, so he's putting in some work here. I mean, this is where you want this matchup to be. It's not the worst I've seen it, but it is getting up there for Nisha right now, as this is where this lane just becomes absolutely miserable. You have to rely on water runes. You have to rely on maybe some bottle refills. Nisha praying one of his supports dies right now so he can get some extra resources.
Seriously. Nisha might have gotten that first CS over no one, but no one's definitely getting the last laugh here in this lane. As the counter pick matchup, the lane wins 16-13 compared to 9-3 for Nisha's Puck.
He is getting water runes, though. There's no sort of support rotations to deny the resources, make this lane even worse. And these curved orbs are actually hitting no one. A bit he bought raindrop just to deal with some of the harass. So Nisha's not in a bad position in terms of resource management, even if he's getting out CS. But, I mean, that's going to happen in this lane no matter what.
Katomi. Ooh, getting pulled in by the reel-in from Insania, but maybe that's not where they want him close. Boxy barely survives on the other side of the map. Mickey continuing to take damage, and the Splinter Blast will catch him in the end. Kataomi throws a long lob from across the lane on the DM, bounces over, and gets them the kill. Trading 1 for 1. Kataomi's certainly going to be happy with that trade-off, though, as they managed to get the first blood.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is your Kunkka Razor lane where the Kunkka's killing the Razor. They just played the first few minutes really well up here. And that was through the Lost Lotus as well. So Cloud9 very happy with how this offlane Kunkka has been going. And you got to remember, they put this pick here to give you the advantageous mid matchup, which no one's very comfortable in. Much stronger early game from them out of the laning phase here.
His support didn't die, but Nisha will still get that refill on bottle.
You just have to give resources so he can stay in the lane. And honestly, he's doing pretty well. DM
trying to get a little stacking action in. Katomi's still going to be here in time to help DM. Will it be enough, though? With all the damage drained away, the slows are not going to be enough to separate the two. DM goes down, and Katomi's chased out of lane.
Barely maintained that link there. That was very close to breaking. Otherwise, he lives. Another courier death for Watson. He has been sacrificing these couriers. And it does give you a decent amount of gold. I mean, you're looking at this net worth chart despite some of these kills in the early CS.
Blocks him off, make sure he can get the last hit on the ward.
I feel like Liquid's actually happy with how all this progressed. Despite some of the early advantage, like this Doom has been farming up a decent amount in the jungle. He didn't give up any bad deaths. Boxy sacrificed a lot of his game to give 33 this type of early laning phase, so this Tusk is very poor. But you're okay with this because you have seen 33 just absolutely crush teams with Doombringer this event.
Managed to get him inside the cogs. Boxy, he's going to go the other direction here, see if he can put a little pressure on Watson to make sure 33 is going to be fine with the extra bracers. 33 is far too tanky for Cloud9 to deal a killing blow from 100% HP. Katomi, are they going to go on the Wyvern? They're going to go on the Kunkka here. A split focus from Liquid, and no one's going to make a much more clear vision for Cloud9. An easy target, and Mickey not even needing the assassination.
Heads up, TP. I think that is worth it for no one here. You were also bringing the Tusk in for the 7-minute Wisdom Rune. Boxy, in theory, gets this guaranteed.
Yeah, if he can get there in time, the Snowball stun should be able to get him. If he times it correctly, Snowball goes out, hits him with the stun, snatches away that Wisdom Rune. Got both.
That's a huge win for Liquid here. I think they're now very happy with how some of these lanes progressed.
Absolutely. Boxy will certainly die for this one, trying to do some shard shenanigans to bump him away, but there's nowhere he can go to when there is a Kunkka in the midst of it with X marks the spot. So gives up his life for the Wisdom Rune. Typically that trade is worth it for the first Wisdom Rune. But still, Cloud9 up in net worth off of that one.
This is also freeing some of the pressure off of Nisha in that mid lane.
True.
Like every time you rotate the sniper out of here or you get involved in these skirmishes like that with the rune, there's no ganks going into the puck. There's no momentum being...
Oh, got him inside the snowball just in time for the LSA, and now it's Watson in trouble, out of mana and out of health, gets burned out. It's a 33 Doom, stands tall, and Insania slips in from behind. An ensnare on one, a blood grenade on the other, but both will be able to back away as Liquid are out of punch. They got the kill that was worth it, though. Watson going down, a big turnaround from Liquid.
Very heads-up play from Bo3. This is why you give him these melee fours.
Oh, look at no one, though.
Openings.
Ace Rune, he's looking to help Fishman. Fishman's dead. Can no one get the revenge, though? With a haste rune, he should be able to keep up with the Bo3, no problem. Eventual death. Bo3 pops the Lotus to get the kill on the courier. A spiteful play that also gets him back into the tower, not giving the full net worth over to no one.
And look at this net worth chart. Again, another fight no one's dragged into, which means he's not getting that 1v1 versus the puck, and that's just recovery time for Nisha here. Thanking his team for the space being made right now, as this entire lane has been recovered at this point. Yeah, that sniper puck advantage is gone. Do not think Cloud9 got what they wanted out of this laning phase in terms of that matchup specifically. You're going to just have to play this game straight up now. Do you have some tools to deal with the puck? I mean, you have a curse, which can be very good for setting up your chain stun capability. I don't think you're going in Orchid on this offlane Kunkka, but Lina can be obnoxious in the late game.
I think one of the biggest problems for Cloud9 right now is experience, as they are the ones who keep on dying here. They're going to try and torrent both, but it was off the mark. Didn't have an X to pull back in the Naga Siren. Instead, an X on Anisha. But with the orb, he gets the kill on the support and walks away from the Kunkka, no problem. While on the other side, the other support is in trouble. They are not loving their experience right now, as they're going to be shy of those level 6s due to the Wisdom Runes being taken away. And if they die, just being off the map is only going to make that problem worse and worse.
Need to find the ult, especially for this Clockwork. He is a big initiation tool Cloud9 are missing. Now you're just reverting to some stacks as Liquid's starting to take over this transition period. It's going to be another game where you just start vacuuming up camps as 33. You get a fast Midas on this Doom. He's going to be massive. Once more, he's the most farmed hero out of the laning phase against the lane I thought was going to be a lot more tough for him than it was.
All right, well, no one is going to be able to take the mid tower here. Disha is going to try and get the deny. Who's going to get that last hit? His damage is not enough. It's no one who snags it over Nisha. A good pickup, a good bit of bounty. Keeps their net worth even with Liquid, though they are going to trade out this bottom tower. But the sniper is now no longer has a tower in front of him, can continue to make some moves. You said the puck is a counter to the sniper, or excuse me, the sniper a counter to the puck in the lane. What about outside of this laning phase? On an even net worth, what does this matchup look like?
I'll tell you one thing. I think Nisha, he thinks he's going to be invincible this game. There's not a lot of lockdown. You can get Gleipnir's up. If you're super ahead in net worth, then you can stop that puck getting to some of the later defensive items, and you can punish him in that mid game. But he did recover a decent amount here, so a lot's going to come down to whether you find those key 1 to 2 kills on the puck in that like 20 to 30 minute mark. If that happens, you're going to feel comfortable going later. If that doesn't, this puck is going to have another one of his, hyper carry, ultra late game terror fest. And
yeah, Nisha already had one of those in the group stage, so
you also have to think about the power runes here. Like, a big thing about this matchup is if you win the lane, you take the tower. Ideally, you stop the puck getting power runes either through supports or just continually pushing the lane in. It's not that they're that good for no one, but if Nisha gets power runes and he can TP to a fight and clean up, that's another way this puck can get back on the net worth chart. See if Cloud9 decide to bring no one to some of these pushes. If they want to try and collapse for this tier 1 top, I think that would be the best objective for them on the map. They're continuing to get stacks up. I mean, DM is also very farmed. He got a lot of the stack priority here. And his Kunkka already has a blade mail up. He's level 8 himself.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Fishman's dead.
Fishman, when is he going to get level 6? Because at this rate, he's going to be banking on the 14-minute Wisdom Rune. And I think that's one of the biggest limits for Cloud9 right now, is they've got some farm cores, but they don't have the support ultimates to really make it all okay. Nice phase shift dodge there on the X.
He's still level 4 on the clock.
It's bad.
It is very rough. I mean, at this point, you're just missing a hero. You give this man a lane and protect him. You're going to need it.
Yeah, I mean, they gave him bottom lane. It didn't last for long, though. 33.
Doom tanked.
Yeah.
What more can you do?
He just instantly pulled the trigger on that ultimate. Not shy about it at all.
Another reason I think this tier 1 top is really important for Cloud9 because you're going to open up the lanes and you can get some more experience here.
Right.
Liquid just continually defending it, though. And now, like, Bo3 sitting up here, you know, he's level 6.5. He's chilling. It's like, I'm getting a free lane. No one's attacking me. My Doom's basically free farming with Midas. It feels similar to game 1, and there's not a lot of aggressive pressure going into Liquid during this period, which is okay if you're content with your scale and you're matching them in terms of, you know, economic stacks, but that's a big question mark. Are you happy with your scale going into a late game Naga lineup? This is a hero that can just make the late game teamfights feel impossible at a certain point with the amount of sustain and control she brings.
And a carry that Liquid is very comfortable going late with, right? We've seen so many of the mid-game Razors, and they don't seem to feel like, oh, we're super pressured to end the game by 30, 35 minutes. They've gotten plenty of 45-minute, 50-minute games with this Razor, and it really does turn into a monster.
That was them turning the hacks off, of course.
Of course. Gold hacks, top 2 net worth for Liquid, though the rest of the cores from Cloud9 are not too far behind. It's Watson who probably struggled the most, but he's still catching up to his Gleipnir, and with that Gleipnir, maybe the kind of catch that they get off that will allow them to get some pickoffs. They're going to try here. Bo3 pulled back into a torrent, has a snowball to delay the inevitable, but he will die here. Fishman making sure he ends up on the high ground.
Yeah,
a little bit more experience.
Fishman's going to high-five anybody he finds. Just give me the experience, please. Put me in the assist range. And that will get him his 6 off the Wisdom Rune. So finally he is online. You have hookshot available. Oof. Cobalt will bite the dust. I mean, you're talking about the scale here, though. This looks like a very hard Razor game on paper in some ways. You have 2 BKB piercing supports, which are oftentimes annoying for this hero, right? You run in, you BKB, you link someone, you get hookshot or cursed, it disjoints that, you're a bit sad. And you have 2 very long-ranged carries to deal with in Sniper and Lina, generally very poor matchups for Razor. You kind of end up in that position where, like, do I need a Swift Blink or something to blink on this Sniper and link him?
Yeah, just to, like, keep up with the puck initiation, right? If puck can go in and coil them, maybe the Razor needs to be able to do the same and follow that up, because, yeah, it's going to be a distance game for Cloud9. Keep away from the Razor.
And they both Hurricane Pike buyers. Very obnoxious item. I think Mikke he might have met his match in this game with this hero. Like, he's going to have to really have smart openings into the fight, take good angles, and find his target early so he can stick onto them. Does not look like an easy task for him, but we will see what he can do with it.
His choices: an early BKB, Yasha, BKB. A very even game so far. 5 to 7, 15 minutes in. Net worth pretty much dead even. Both teams are content, it seems, to just farm away.
Well, you know 33 is, I mean.
Yeah, he's got the
in
Midas.
His element right now. New Midas.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Did you get the power rune for Nisha? Amp damage. He's going to make the rotation top. Will he find anything? Find a Fishman.
Almost catching him inside the shards, Fishman. He'll open up that hard camp. Now that they've taken the tower, Cloud9 finally be able to take over these areas of the map. Kataomi and DM pushing forward, trying to set up an invisible Watson. Smoked up.
Very close to it.
Torrent lands. LSA, not quite there. He's too close to the tier 2 tower. They're not sure about this one, but Fishman wants it anyway. Drinking Buddies will pull him outside of the cogs, though. Fishman has to TP out. Cloud9, it seemed like a bit of a stumble there, but they don't lose anybody for it. That's a good sign.
I don't mind that play as a poke, right? You got a lot of reaction on Liquid, but the curious part is they brought everybody to it. Like, they brought the Lina in a smoke. They brought no one to that exchange. There was no one pushing out the lanes or farming the map. So it felt a little awkward, right? Are you fighting that? Are you fully committing? Are you poking them?
Now Watson, he's going to need some help. Coil and pulled back in, and immediately throws his full barrage of spells at Nisha, hoping to survive, but it will not happen. Doom is going to kill him, so he does what he can to bring Doom down with him. He may have gotten that. Can Bo3 get away? Looks like he's totally fine. Once again, the Drinking Buddies, that added bit of mobility does make things harder for Cloud9. They have all this long range, but don't seem to have quite enough catch for the extra heroes.
Technically a gold positive exchange for Cloud9, though I don't think they're too happy of losing Watson there, especially since he was joining some of those early moves. Saw the amount of damage he can output, though. It is no joke. It's going to be another factor here. Like, who do you want to doom in this game? Do you actually want to doom the Lina every time? Are you taking the Wyvern if you can find Katayomi at the start of the fight and remove some of the control? Because even if you doom this Lina or Sniper, there's two of them. The other one might carry the fight. The other one's just going to fight through it anyway, like we saw there. 33's decision-making is not easy in this one. No, like the panel said, this is a very obnoxious lineup to fight into for Liquid. A lot of things they have to maneuver and worry about. If they can finesse them, I think they can own that fight. But they have to set it up properly. Welcome back. And if you're looking at initiation power, we talked about why C9 went back for this Clockwork over something like the Bane. It's a lot more natural, a lot more consistent, long range. The initiation power for Liquid is pretty dependent on this coil landing on big targets.
Watson opting for Boots of Travel as his next item.
Yeah, just wants to play the map, keep the farm up. He wants to be able to join these plays without committing himself into the move on its own.
Do you feel like it's greedy, though? Because
no, I don't think so. I think on this hero, it's a natural progression, honestly. Okay. It's also like how you play the fights thing, right? You just want the high MS on the Lina. So you can stick on a target, get the extra right clicks in. And this is a game that's likely going to go late. You know, this is not a game where, like we saw last time, Cloud9 are going to put Aegises on this Sniper and go high ground early. I don't think their lineup does that nearly as well as Liquid's did in game one. And we're seeing Liquid here. They're just stacking and continuing to play the farm game. This one is probably going to go the distance here, because you're going to look at Roshan contests who's getting Aegises and who's scaling up all three of their cores.
Cloud9 hoping this series will go the distance as well. It relies on Fishman. Misses the hook shot. Not going to be able to find the kill on Nisha. His elusive puck is already going to be difficult enough. The curveball maybe makes it more difficult to predict his movements. As you can see, Liquid are getting the better of the stack exchange. So when it comes to these slower matches, usually the stacks play a big part in who gets more out of the map.
Naga too. I mean, Naga is a map cleaner. Yeah. He's a stack setter. You have Wyvern to match a little bit of that. We've seen Katayomi find a lot with this hero, and his blink is done, so maybe now you have a bit more setup that Nisha has to think about. When he pushes in these side lanes deep, you just blink, curse the puck, sets you up for Cog, hookshot, LSA, whatever you want to do out of that. And it'll be another 3-man smoke with this Wyvern blink. Gleipnir done for the Sniper as well. So the mini lockdown elements are now online for Cloud9. They had a good enough early game. They got them there. The puck is still susceptible right now. They will take anybody they find on the map, though, especially that Doom with...
Oh, that is a perfect target. The highest net worth hero tries to hurricane himself out of there, but there's nowhere he can run to. The rocket flare will see every movement.
Meanwhile, DM got the mid lane in, so this is going to translate into some decent map control for Cloud9. They would really want Nisha right now, but you can't get everything.
No, and Nisha, seeing all those heroes on the other side of the map, will try and punish Cloud9 as much as possible. Just hitting that tier 2, while Insania will soak up the enemy jungle as much as he can. Already has a mech. Cloud9 will time their Tormentor with the Wisdom Rune spawning.
Oh, they got the good one, too. This Wyvern Shard is some decent value. You can push with it. Good in the fights. Katayomi going to be happy about that one. Plus, he found the Grove Bow. But Liquid, they have perhaps other plans? I don't think you're Roshani at this point in the game.
No, I don't feel like their lineup really is that adept at being able to do it quickly.
But you are closing in on the double BKB here. Mickey finished his. He also got the Grove Bow pretty nice. And 33, his is flying out right now. So if you are Liquid and you want to make a move in this game, now's kind of the time to do it. And find a random neutral item. I don't know whose that was, but he will claim it. I mean, it's a good time to fight with the double BKB. You have to worry about hookshot and curse, but again, if you can get on top of the Lina or Sniper with the Razor BKB, that's the key to a teamfight victory here.
Cloud9 are going to take the first step here, though. And it's great for them if they don't run into the BKB heroes. Hard to be able to catch this puck. They're making a long wraparound behind him here.
Do they see Mickey in the river?
Oh, they managed to get a scan onto this move from Cloud9. Cloud9's own scan has narrowed down the search area here to right next to their tier 2 tower. They'll catch Boxy for it. Certainly not what they were looking for, They wanted, I'm sure, a core out of that smoke gank.
Yes, they committed everybody for that move again, right? Brought both the carries. Though they do get a D-ward out of it, they control this bottom part of the map, which is where this Roshan is. And I think you just commit to it here if you're Cloud9. Like, I don't think you can commit so many of these 5-man smokes without getting some sort of map control.
Got him in the curse. Trying to set it for the TP rotations. The LSA off the curse. Here comes the burst damage, and it's more than enough.
That is exactly what you were looking for this entire game if you are Cloud9. It does not take too many puck deaths this game to really swing the momentum in your favor. And now that Roshan, it's open for 40 seconds here, no puck, if you can run back towards bottom.
Yeah, felt like Cloud9, they were a little timid about taking that Roshan with just a support pickoff, but a core pickoff, they are certainly better set up to start it. Can they actually take it, though? Liquid, I mean, are they going to contest?
The issue here is you don't have BKBs on your cores, and you're playing against Naga. This is a scary Roshan to commit to because Insania walks in there, he gets a good sleep. Could just be an absolute disaster of a team fight.
Liquid, they're not going to give this one up for free. Cloud9 know it too. Good read by them. They're going to back away from the Roshan pit here. Concede this area. They don't really have to worry too much about Liquid taking it. What they have to worry about is getting jumped on. A blink forward, not going to find him quite yet. No one immediately uses the Hurricane Pike to try and separate the two. Got the Gleipnir onto the Tuz. See if they can kill him before the stop. But there it is, the song. Now the reset of the team fight. They've got a Doom on the Kunkka as well, so he's not going to be able to help out. They just surround this poor sniper. There's no way out of this one. Fishman trying to protect him as best he can with the cogs. They have the Embrace, slowing down the damage as best as possible, but Mickey sticks onto the sniper with his BKB. No retreat possible for Cloud9 sniper.
They bought back DM Kunkka, who just died to Doom on the backside of that. Doesn't get to do anything in this fight. Watson's just out of here.
A buyback that doesn't seem worth it because the trade-off was nothing. Absolutely nothing for him. I mean, maybe you could say you're stopping Liquid from doing Roshan, but I'm not even sure if they were going to go for it.
Yeah, I don't think they had plans. So there's a smoke to prevent Cloud9 doing it. I mean, there was a sick LSA there from Watson, but they couldn't catch Nisha for the full duration. Just skirts out of there. And that's one way to use a sleep in this game. You can use it defensively, but if you can just sleep the sniper, get the Razor straight on top of him, there's not much you can do about it here. Yeah, they really needed Curse in that sort of exchange. That was a big factor there for Liquid and why they made that aggressive move. Curse on cooldown from that mid play earlier was around 15 seconds from coming back up. That was something that could have bailed your sniper out of that situation, but they just didn't have that tool.
Yeah, there was multiple targets there for a potential curse, but as he said, Liquid knew the timing, played it accordingly. That Boots of Travel is done. Hurricane Pike up next for Watson. As you said, Hurricane Pike cores for both on Cloud9. Just trying to play the distance.
I think they're both going to go BKB at this game as well.
Yeah.
You just need to be able to BKB and land the LSA on the puck when you need to, or BKB fight through a Doom. 33 continues to find a lot of farm in here. Even took Philosopher Stone on this Doom. The greed is good, he says.
Yeah.
He is very large. Shiva's done going back for another Midas. Just keep buying the Midas.
Philly Stone Doom. I've seen it all now. And he's about to get that Philly Stone completion, that big chunk of gold that comes in now after it's done.
The spot.
With a Shivas and tier 3 item to replace it soon, Liquid's going to be very strong in 2 minutes time, but they haven't managed to use that strength to actually claim a net worth lead too much.
Eyeing this dire side, Roche. That's the other thing about this, is it switched sides since Cloud9 were unable to claim it, which means this Roche is a way better setup for Liquid right now. Straight on their outposts. This is where their vision is. They're just going to get this for free?
Seems like a Cloud9 just playing more of the map, despite having an offlane tier 1 tower, which is usually pretty okay for contesting a dire side Roshan.
They even found an amp damage rune in the river. They're going to smoke on. So they're not going to be here in time, but you could take this fight if you're Cloud9 with the power of this amp damage on no one right now.
What this Naga Siren does in this moment is going to be super important because they have the Aegis. Now it's just Liquid Are they going to be able to get out? Or are they going to be able to fight this amp damage sniper who's already trying to challenge Mickey? BKB, drinking buddies, pulls him back for the go for the sniper. He's going to be cold embrace. Can they blow up Mickey? They throw the Laguna Blade. It's not going to be enough. Mickey trying to get out. Winner's Curse. They finally shoot him down with the Doom on the Lina, but the Lina is still having plenty of right-click damage, and no one with his amp damage is fighting for his life. They shot down Insania before the song reset can come through. Yeah, the sniper falls, but still, Watson is pushed through the Doom, and now he's ready to go. A full spellcaster. Can he hit Nisha? Phase shift dodges one spell. He's going to pop out, get hit by the cogs. He has the orb. He orbed. X dodges phase shift. No, it doesn't actually. Pulls him back in. Now he's stuck here, trying to get a blink away. Pushes back against. If they have the vision, Lena can maybe get him. Nisha, is he going to be able to survive? Hit by 33. Stomp. 33 comes in for the kill. Nisha comes back into play. They finish off the Lena. Nisha's still alive. He lives through it all, killing Cloud9 and chasing down TM as well.
This is why you do not want to give this guy puck. I don't care how good your laning phase is. He is going to dance on you in the mid game, and Nisha putting on a team fight clinic cleans up the backside of this fight that honestly, it looked pretty damn good for Liquid at the start of that. They got the coil on the sniper, they got the Doom on the Lina. It's everything you want, but there was a decent amount of sustain coming out from the boat buff. The heals from Katayomi, he lands an okay curse that stalls it out. If you get Nisha there, you're very happy with the situation. Instead, he turns around and kills your Lina. Liquid salvage the second half of that. Get an Aegis. Still a tough fight for Mickey. We really saw this Razor suffer. He even got an okay link, but the Hurricane Pikes are deadly, and the amp damage room for no one definitely turned the tides.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Razor comes in, and Cloud9.
He just eats it, man.
He took every single spell. He took the amp damage. He took the Laguna Blade. He took all the attention of all these heroes and couldn't survive through it in the end because of the Winner's Curse and the amp damage. Makes a huge difference. No one survived for so long, too. I mean, another fight where no one survives to the bitter end and outputs tons of damage. If it wasn't for the fact they have those agents, it wasn't for the fact that Nisha is able to just outplay Cloud9 in these last few moments.
And it was a very important call they gave Aegis to him, because if that Aegis is on the Razor, he's not really doing anything on that second life.
Yeah, that's true.
Nowhere near as close here.
33 with the two-man stomp at the end. Just picture perfect entrance there from 33 to enable Nisha.
Just no resources left. DM is out of mana. Not enough sustain in the tank. Cloud9 continuing to wonder, how can we actually win a team fight against this team? Does not feel like they've been able to secure a real team fight win in this entire series.
Now with the shard picked up for Insania. Those song resets, as you said, when you could use it offensively if you want to, but if you choose to use it defensively, it's going to be a big boost of health for Liquid. Sustain.
Yeah, he's big on this Naga. He found the farm you want. He has the Greaves, the shard.
What? It says, don't you block my Ancients. Laguna playing an illusion to clear it. I mean, he got it. He got the Ancients.
Coil down.
Coil down. But Fishman still stuck in a rough spot here, trying to pull him off the cliff. Fishman is going to be saved by a Lotus.
He is very tanky. You have to be careful how much you commit on some of the random supports in this game. They are deceptively hard to bring down. But we're seeing the BKBs come up for Cloud9. I think Liquid wanted to fight in this period before those two big ones came out. And at this point, no one's is done. And Watson, well, that's why he Laguna'd that illusion. He's got to get the Ancient Camps going to finish his. It's going to be a big timing for Cloud9.
Yeah.
What they choose to do with it here.
I mean, if they choose not to fight during this period of time, they say we can't fight. You know, there's no harm in using Laguna Blade like that. Relatively low cooldown. See the player comparison here. No one trying to keep up with this puck. Certainly far more than him. But is still falling behind in net worth as Nisha, big winner of that last team fight, thanks to an Aegis.
The control that Cloud9 has is what both teams are going to try and play around. Because to me, that's the deciding factor. Like, how does this curse land? Who does it land on? What does it set up? And if you're Liquid, can you get the initial coil jump? Like, can you find big targets with it, lock them at least a little bit, or force early BKB so then you can song during the BKB, potentially isolate a target, let Mickey go to work,
Would you ever consider Lincoln's because on Liquid because the curse is so important, right? Every curse is led into a Torrent, Boats, LSA, Laguna Blade. Like there's a full combo of spells that follow up after that curse is used. Is it that important to consider Lincoln's block?
I mean, Mickey went for one. So you have a Lincoln's on the Razor. He has BKB as well. You got to remember, you can if you're BKB, this curse will not affect you. So if Liquid just commit them all at the same time, you can mitigate the damage that's done through this spell.
33 makes a jump on a Fishman here. Fishman's got plenty of backup, though. No one's going to be the first one on scene. DM quick to follow him. 33 has to use a BKB to get out of here.
I think more players were both confused by that more than they understood what was going on.
Hey, there's the BKB for the Lina. So Cloud9 have just reached a big point. They may be down 4K net worth, but it doesn't feel like they are disadvantaged at all.
No, there's a lot of net worth on Kataomi here. He's going to continue to scale, and there's a reason they like this Wyvern. I mean, this is the 4th position of the tournament who has found the most farm on average in any given game. This is a hero that can use it really well in the late game, right? Yeah. You're looking at one of the best ags in terms of damage output scaling as the game goes later and later. He does an absurd amount. It's a factor Liquid have to consider as this game progresses.
And he has enabled his initiation, knowing how important that curse is. A Blink Dagger and a Shadow Blade.
The Naga just runs straight into no one.
And he instantly songs to try and keep himself up. Will blink away, running to the rest of Cloud9 here. Gets Gleipnir, instantly trying to take that off. Hook shot, and does manage to get him inside the cog. So Insania does die for this. A smoke move. Yeah, a sacrifice from Insania. The rest of Liquid will be able to get out.
So what can Cloud9 get off this 40 seconds with no Naga on the map? Fishman goes bottom, looking for Bounty Rune, maybe some setup. These setups have to be really fast if you want to catch this puck. Nisha already Octarine done, plus a gem on him. He's just controlling a lot of the map right now.
He's playing so bold, too. Just he's constantly hitting that tier 2 tower. He's been caught assaulting those towers before, though.
Only one death.
See if Kataomi can make it a second.
Yeah, Shadow Blade is another tool to maybe set up and find this puck on the map or find him in the fight, right? If you just stay in the back, your Shadow Bladed Nisha doesn't see you, he goes in. If he gets stuck in the curse, that's the big target. You don't even need to land the curse on the puck. Just get him to hit somebody else. Yeah. And you can chain stun him out of that. That's where it goes back to, like, do you want to find this Wyvern with the Doom?
Smoke's going to run into the Wyvern here. Kataomi. See how fast he reacts to this one with the Shadow Blade. He's got a Blink Dagger to be able to hop away over the plasma field. Oh, it was a close call.
Another amp damage on no one, though. Ooh. This is a fight that I think Cloud9 would want to take right now.
Fishman's hunting for it, and he's already broken the link there. Mickey, he's not feeling good about this one. He wants to get out of here, but Fishman's already caught him inside of his hook. A jump in from Nisha, trying to stall this one. See if he can get him out, but it got 33 jumps in, hits the Doom onto Sniper, but he doesn't care. Mickey tries to blink after him. Either way, none of it's good. Liquid have failed their initiation or their counter jump to be able to get Mickey out of there, but I guess it works. Mickey does manage to walk away from the fight. Cloud9 say, okay, that's good enough.
Nisha is right on the edge, man. If any of these stuns land, he will get bursted. But Cloud9 cannot catch this puck right now, and even with an amp damage rune.
They're gonna try. Got him on the curse. It's a short curse, but they hit the LSA. A full wombo combo will bring him down. Finally, they get Nisha up for the second time.
And that was the gem as well. Huge pickup for Cloud9. I mentioned at the start of this game, you only need 2 or 3 kills on this puck to feel a lot better about your situation. That is the second one.
And look at Cloud9, full of vim and vigor, straight to the high ground off of a single pickup. They say that's good enough, maybe more. A hook shot lands on a Mickey. They know he doesn't have BKB. This is a perfect catch for Cloud9. A second core dying from Liquid, and back to the high ground assault. Wait, no one's going to back up here as the illusions were cutting the waves.
You still know Doom's on cooldown, though. It's coming up in 10 seconds, so Watson, he wants to push high ground, wave or not. It's going to send a message, hit some back door. And the biggest item pickup perhaps in this game for Cloud9, outside of those BKBs, a Hex for DM on this Kunkka. You will absolutely have the lockdown threat for this puck right now. Cloud9 feeling that this game, perhaps in their hands. I mean, it's not a huge net worth lead, but...
Look at no one. He's assaulting the tier 4s. 50 seconds. They want to force buybacks.
There is a buyback available on the Razor. There is buyback available for the puck. This is a very bold move. Very confident move.
Cloud9, will their bold move pay off here? Watson, he's going to be the one jumped on initially by 33. No buyback still. 10 more seconds. 33, are you going to do him or are you going to sleep? Sleep from Insania on forward. They buy back on Mickey, trying to get him in position with Nisha about to come up. He's going to TP into this fight. Mickey, he's going to go for the Watson Lena. See if he can keep him. He's got him still in range. Smuthy in prison. What an embrace grab from winner Wyvern. They grabbed so many heroes. Now Cloud9 on full retreat. Still, it's Watson who managed to get a wisdom rune before he goes down to the Doom. A buyback immediately used as Liquid are still trying to make this worth it for them. They may have killed Watson, but they need a lot more. A Scythe and a TP away from DM gets one of their cores out, but two of them have fallen for Cloud9.
Triple buyback for Liquid. They end up committing the Razor buyback as well. Very expensive high ground hold. So much damage from no one, just sitting up there fighting to his last breath. And an absolutely sick curse by Katayomi on the backside that ends up catching the puck blinking in.
Middle tower has fallen.
An extremely bold move from Cloud9 to just push Throne like that, but it makes sense with how long Mickey's respawn timer was and how fast that went. You got some big buybacks out here. Effectively won another fight.
The downside, they won't have the super creeps, which they obviously could have taken that mid lane of barracks, but the upside, a near exposed Throne, buybacks on cooldown, and they're going to be able to hold on to their own buybacks. Another downside, though, they did it during Roshan spawn time. So this gives Liquid a free Rosh.
This is the big downside here. You might have expended buybacks if you're Liquid, but if you can put an Aegis straight back into your pocket, you're not too sad.
Knowing that Roshan goes the way of Liquid, do you feel like that was worth it for Cloud9? Was it the right decision?
It's very hard to say. I think it's very close, but I think you would rather have this Roshan than the Razor buyback plus the supports here.
Okay.
Aegis is very strong versus the Doom. Like, that's the biggest factor here. I think the Aegis is nice for Liquid, but if anything, they want to take it away so the fight opens up more for the Razor and the Doom to just commit in and get the kills when they can get them.
Yeah.
They're going to give the Aegis to Mickey here, reward his buyback usage. But big item pickups across the board. Like, you got the refresher done for 33 now, so you have double Doom to play around, which might make it easier to commit a Doom on the first target you see. We saw how hard that jump was there, though, with the Lotus Orbs and what 33 was worried about.
Yeah.
It's a very awkward initiation for him.
They may have all the blink daggers in the world. They may be able to get on top of Cloud9, but Cloud9, they do have certain responses, like the Lotuses, like Kataomi's positioning, and whether or not he hits that winner's curse. He's got a Hurricane Pike now, so he can maybe blink in and break Lincolns and still get a curse off.
I mean, he's so strong. This Wyvern is becoming a big problem for Liquid. If he gets to level 20 with the extra slow plus an Ags, he's another carry in this game.
33 got the Doom off onto DM, but if he gets back to his base, it's perfectly fine. They'll lose Fishman for it, but a BKB and a Doom use. Boxy's still hunting for more. Shot back there by no one.
Doom's worn out. Liquid not getting exactly what they wanted out of there. Use the refresher on the Doom as well to just start pushing down that cooldown. Cloud9, they will sacrifice Fishman as they have time and time again. And retreat. Wearing out this Aegis period. 3.5 minutes left. Your high ground is awful, though, if you're Liquid, right?
Oh, yeah.
And nobody to really hit it. You just want to win the fight. Like, that's how you win this game. You crush Cloud9's lives.
Oh, Kataomi. He is walking into a Sentry. He spotted him. Oh, he didn't get the dust, didn't get the coil. Kataomi's faster than him. He forced Saf down to low ground. He's out. There's no coil to stop him. Great reaction from the support of Cloud9.
That was so risky.
Cloud9 they're not fearful at all, man. TI main stage, making plays, going straight for Throne, not hitting barracks. Kataomi out on the base against an Aegis with some heroes down like that.
Yeah, he has no buyback, by the way. Like, he bought out for that.
Oh my God.
So you're making that play, you're making that scouting with no buyback on one of the more important heroes here. Like, he goes down, that opens up the high ground. That is a huge snag for Liquid, but we are seeing this game. It's still technically in Cloud9's hands. Feels like they figured out a way to break the teamfight hold Liquid's had on this series. gain some momentum for themselves, and they are scaling, man. That's the biggest factor here. I think this Puck is an insane hero in the late game for Liquid, but you have to worry a little bit for the Razor and the Doom finding their mark in the fights first. What's effectively going to be a triple ranged carry lineup between the Wyvern, the Lina, and the Sniper. They're all just going to sit there and start hitting you.
More Lincolns in this game. Spellcasting in these team fights is going to get weird. So many Lincolns. Lotus and a Lincoln's coming in for Cloud9 as Watson's trying to protect himself. With the Blink Daggers, I feel like you almost can't stop the initiation from Liquid. That Razor's probably going to get on top of you. He's probably going to try and link you like he did in that last team fight. Cloud9 managed to get this Tormentor right before Liquid cuts across. They are running out of time here. 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and I feel like they haven't done too much of it.
That's the question. What can you do with it? You can't just break high ground naturally. You need to fight.
Maybe thinking to get a pick off, but they still are not finding it. Cloud9 have been quick enough. They stay one step ahead of Liquid. They'll get this tier 2, but it is a paltry reward for this 5-minute Aegis timing.
Did get a refresher for your Razor. Huge item for Mickey in this game. He can play around double BKB, double Lincolns now. Gives him a lot more capability to take a longer fight. And of course, you're pushing towards some level 25 talents in this game as well. A lot of level 24 heroes right now. The only level 25 is Nisha on that Puck. Does have the debuff immunity piercing Dream Coil. Could be a huge deal. Again, if you can find the coil on the Sniper, on the Lina, suddenly that goes a way longer way than it did before.
Yeah, you combine that with the Aghanim Scepter as well. He's trying to build up. Level
he is
20.
scaling, man. He is scaling. He's going to be the real big damage factor for Liquid in these late games. You need to catch this Puck in a curse, and you probably can't throw it on him unless you have a very clutch Lincoln's break.
Katomi trying to go shove out these waves. Will not be caught in the process. Once again, Cloud9 just 1 or 2 seconds away from getting caught.
That's your Aegis period. 30 seconds, it's out. Cloud9 can push out of their base and take another aggressive fight if they want to. And in fact, they are already smoked up in preparation for this expiration. Mickey farming aggressively. 10 seconds left on this Aegis.
Cloud9 looking to make a move around this Aegis expiration. They also want to play around Vision. Got a high ground ward here. And a tier 2 tower right next to it. Be a great area for Cloud9 to be able to take a fight. Liquid are not going to trespass onto that area.
Gotta get these lanes out if you're Cloud9. Liquid continue to farm up the map. Push towards those level 25s. In fact, they got the Razors. It's another big talent in this game. Getting the attack speed steal. Very nice on these ranged carries. And now that you have a refresher, potentially double link, double BKB. It is a lot of damage gone out of your lineup if you can connect the Razor in the team fight. Foxy Blink could also be pretty influential. We saw some decent snowball saves. Versus a lot of the Kunkka spells, Wyvern spells, LSA.
45-minute game, 17-17, dead even net worth. But it could all come apart off of just 1 or 2 team fights. Cloud9 have smoked up and looked for it. But Liquid, they seem to know something's going on with some of their deep vision and the bottom wave pushing in. Back behind their towers, knowing the smokes much harder to find purchase against those objectives. Doom applies mute. It's up, as is the shard for Boxy now.
These Dooms are brutal, but can you land them?
Yeah.
That is the big question. There's a lot of interrupt. There's a Lincoln's now on the Lina. There's a Lincoln's being built for no one. Lotus Orb and Hex on DM. So if you go in with this Doom, you don't pre-BKB. You risk getting instant hexed. So you have to throw them fast, but you don't have a lot of time to throw them out through these Lincoln Spheres. And currently 33 is playing with War Stomp, so he cannot break these Lincoln Spheres on his own. Gonna be a big problem for him.
Yeah, what does Liquid do about that? Feels like he's got to change neutral capabilities.
Yeah, they have no Lincoln's breaking capability in this lineup. Basically zero.
Yeah, I think with the Winter's Curse problem that they're featuring, you don't want to risk anybody else breaking that Lincoln's for you, because then you're just naturally grouping up.
Exactly.
46-minute power rune. Any little advantage you can get. Cloud9 are searching for it. Mickey finds an invis rune instead. Probably not making much use of that. Aegis spawn time. It's going to be coming up here pretty soon.
Okay, running in invis.
Nisha
Looking for
not
something.
afraid of the side, the vice box. He's going to go for it. He managed to hit a snowball onto the Lotus. That's going to pull him out of here. Oh, no, 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 no. DM in some trouble. Fishman, oh, they got the hook shot onto Nisha. They didn't have the follow-up, though. They got the Doom out onto DM. Maybe not the best target. They throw a coil on after that. The second Doom onto the Sniper with the link onto him. That'll definitely do it. Watson's going to have to carry this one. No one's going to buy back. They're losing some of their supports. Can no one and Watson push through this second part of the fight? Liquid seeing these buybacks and the TPs coming in are trying to retreat now, but DM is trying to catch them. We got a slow from Kataomi, slowing down 33, but DM, he wasn't able to get the X to grab anybody. Now, those buybacks, it didn't reward them at all. They throw out an assassination. Wait a minute, the Doom's caught up on the high ground. Insane, he has to use the song to try and save him here. Watson, he runs forward with his BKB, hits the Gleipnir, tries to catch her after Drinking Buddy's going to pull him back. Meanwhile, the poke shot onto Insania manages to get off the mirror images. Nisha's going to jump away from Cloud9. They're pulling him back, but the curse, maybe it holds him in place long enough. The LSA, it does, chaining the sun. Mickey's tanky, though, down to half HP. Watson might be able to finish him off. He does manage to get that much, but the Anisha, he is still on top of them. Orb after orb, cold breeze, healing up Watson as long as possible. Here comes the boat, lands on a 2. Liquid, they're backing away, but they are going to have casualties. Mickey's in for a second life, immediately pushed back by no one with the coil. Lands onto him, trying to finish up the Sniper, managed to get a dieback. How many diebacks can they get out of Cloud9? It all comes down to this. Can they get Watson? They've got him. Watson dead. DM on the run. Another dieback coming in for Cloud9. Liquid. One fight is all it takes.
Buybacks committed, but they get what they were looking for. Running down this Lina at the end of the fight. A huge gold swing in this game. So much experience for Liquid as once more they just kill everybody on Cloud9. Buybacks are not. That curse was not good enough in that fight. And all that started with no one going down to the first Doom. Now out for 80, no buyback. No buyback on this Kunkka. 95 seconds. Liquid have everybody.
And now it's Liquid's opportunity to return the favor to Cloud9. Are they going to hit tier 3s and go straight for throne during these diebacks, or are they going to play it conservative? Nope, the call has been made. Time to hit tier 4s.
You need a big curse here. You need to get multiple heroes and set the fight up for Watson to deal the damage.
33 jumps in, immediately throws out the Duma. Kataomi doesn't find too much past that. Kataomi's going to be playing a bit of a timeout here while the tier 4s are going to start falling. They're going to have to play this 3 versus 5.
There's no Glyph here anymore. Is your Wyvern even up in time to make this play?
Is it even capable for Watson to be able to stop any of this? Does he even have the damage to kill these heroes fast enough? Their throne is under assault. He lost another hero. 2 versus 5 now to hit the stomp. Got the Doom. No, wait. Liquid's able to block it, but it doesn't matter. The throne is exposed, and Liquid will take the 2-0.
What an impressive win from Liquid. That game looked like it was going to go later and later. Roshan was potentially going to be an issue. The ranged carries for their cores were potentially going to be an issue. They just find a way in the team fights. There's no way about it. It was not a draft advantage. It's not a strategy advantage. You're just getting outplayed. Nisha, Boxy are just straight outplayed.